Welcome back. I'm glad you could join me for the second chapter of our freshman story. Let's start out with a brief recap. Our heroes met up, and after Miss Romani's brief crisis involving one of the three upperclassmen, they all made their way to their initiation with Mr. Holm. After a brief cavern crawl, Artemis and Lilith made their way to the panicked screams of Tobias and Prim, who were being assaulted by peculiar slimes. They made it out without a scratch and found themselves heading back out to the Dragon Spire for a rest and to meet up with the other group that emerged from their trial. With that out of the way, let us continue. We return to our freshmen as they prepare to use whatever funds they may have to purchase gear for themselves. However, Miss Romani seems to have something on her mind. So, where do you guys want to check out first? Pen and sword? Dragon sword? Maybe Bards and Nobles here? We should probably get weapons out of the way first, so pen and sword's our best bet. What do you think, Lily? Oh, I actually have some business I want to try and take care of. I trust you to pick me up something I'd use. All right, then. So, pen and sword? Sounds good to me. While the freshmen began their shopping spree, Lilith made her way to the Dragon Spire to try and speak with Lord Copperscale himself. It wasn't difficult to make her way to his office, but once she did, she was met with one of the upperclassmen that stood alongside Lord Copperscale, Luciano or Loon. What's a freshman gotta see Copperscale for on their second day? Oh, I just, have a few questions for him. Well, good luck getting a straight answer. He's real eccentric. May I help you, my dear? Oh, I merely wish to ask you some questions, sir. No need for such formality. While inside the campus walls, I am merely the dean of a university. Nothing more. Please, go ahead and have a seat. Copperscale leads her inside, and she, somewhat reluctantly, takes a seat, keeping her formal posture as he sits across from her. So, what is it you'd like to ask? Well, sir, it's just about the slimes that were in the cave yesterday. They weren't exactly normal? Ah, yes, the slimes. Luciano brought similar concerns from the other group to my attention. I assure you that you have nothing to worry about. Should a similar issue arise again, I will have it taken care of. Well, I had a dream the other night, and I saw those slimes in them, and... Lilith clutches her head deep in thought, trying to remember more. Based on your attire, am I right to assume that you are of the clerical persuasion? It isn't uncommon for folks such as yourself to have brief glimpses into the possible future. It's a side effect, if you will, of having such a strong connection to a god. Now, if there isn't anything else, I have some work I'd like to get done. No, sir. Thank you for your time. Always a pleasure to speak with my students. Copperscale guides Lilith out of his office and closes the door behind her, immediately taking a breath and losing his composure. He walks back to his desk with his arms folded behind his back before snapping his fingers, causing a swirl of books to encircle him. He plucks one out of the air and begins to read. With Lilith on her way to regroup with her friends, let's catch up with them ourselves. Their first stop was Pen and Sword, the best smith and scribe for the students of Copperscale Academy. Oh, new freshman already! I do love selling steel to hopeful students. What can I get you? No, wait, I got it. Fancy schmancy fencing type, marksman fella, and, Alright, I'm stumped with you, cousin. What's your forte? I, don't have one. Ah, you're one of those wild coast orcs, ain't you? I thought I recognized that shade of green, cousin. I can respect it. As for your friends, if you're happy with choices, all's left is payment. Artemis swiftly pays Mr. Soul, and the group continues on their way. Much of their travel is relatively uneventful. Artemis stops by another shop to pick up a lute as well as a seashell charm for Lilith, and she's given a small flower by a girl passing by outside. Further down the road, they come across a peculiar tent. Never seen that around before. Well, let's check it out. They make their way inside the tent and find a strange man shuffling cards. Come for a fortune reading, have you? Oh, I love tarot! How much? I've got no need for money, my friend. I merely enjoy reading people, and you three certainly have a story to tell. Would you care to find out what's in store? If it's free, why not? Wonderful. Let's begin with this one. Wheel of Fortune. Fight for change will take place, and you will find it snaking into your path. Another one. Judgment, a reckoning. An unstoppable force will find you. See that you are immovable. And lastly, Tower. Unfortunate. Well, I wish you all the best. That's the last card. It was a pleasure looking ahead with you. I must be off. Wait, what did you mean? Huh? How did he... That's so cool! Are you not worried how we... Cutting off Prim, a boy rushes past and steals Tobias's bag, running off down an alleyway. Tobias rushes towards him first, with the others following suit, only to come across the boy immediately stopped by a man holding him by the collar. I believe this belongs to you? Yes, thank you. That's never happened to me before. Didn't think thieves would be in broad daylight like that. Would explain why you kept this mark. If you've not dealt with them before, I take it from the upper districts. They don't prowl those streets. Wait, why'd you help us? What's your name? Maurice Forktongue. And let's just say that I am a good friend to folks like you. With that, their new friend makes his way out to the street and vanishes from sight, with the three freshmen following suit to find Lilith. I was actually just coming to find you guys. How'd the shopping go? Great! We almost got robbed. I'm not going to ask. How'd your escapade go? Fine, I guess. Got more questions than answers. Yeah, I'm sure we know how that feels. Let's head home and show you what we picked up. Together again, our freshmen prepare to wind down for the afternoon, unaware of where their new friend ran off to. And thus ends another chapter. Thank you again for listening in. See you again soon. Hi, me again. Thanks for watching. I really love how this one turned out. Didn't even have to cut out entire scenes because of art quality like last time. It also took under half the time because I got a drawing tablet, so I didn't have to wait like an hour for my touchscreen laptop to boot, eventually draining me of my motivation to draw. Hopefully I can get the next episode out quicker than this one. I also have commissions open, so feel free to DM me on Twitter about that. Links in the description. I also had an idea about making the occasional game tier list between episodes of Copperscale Academy. Let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in. Have a good one.